For this argument, I will be using John Rawls to say that it is morally permissible for Halliburton's oil company to engage in business transactions with Cuba when such transactions are prohibited by the U.S. government. To obtain original position in society, persons must think about entering the world with a veil of ignorance and create a society based on the principles of justice, democratic equality, and the difference principle. The original position is a fair and impartial point of view that is to be adopted in our reasoning and about fundamental principles of justice. A society consists of free persons with equal basic rights. Persons are free, rational, and equal beings. The original position is behind a veil of ignorance. The veil of ignorance means that you do not know what world you are going to be born into, such as your place in society, class position, social status, fortune, abilities, intelligence, strength, and conceptions of good. The veil of ignorance guides the principles of justice and ensures that no one is advantaged or disadvantaged. Persons must act in accordance with the principles of justice. Justice is defined as fairness. Injustice is inequalities that are not to the benefit of all. There are two principles of justice. The first principle states that each person is to have an equal right to the most extensive scheme of equal basic liberties compatible with a similar scheme of liberties for others. Basic liberties include political liberty, the right to vote and hold public office, freedom of the person, which includes freedom from oppression and physical assault. The second principle of justice states that social and economic inequalities are to be arranged so that they are both A, reasonably expected to be for everyone's advantage, and B, attached to positions and offices open to all, which is the difference principle. The democratic equality principle states that the social order is not to establish and secure the more attractive prospect of those better off, unless doing so is to the advantage of the less fortunate. A principle allowing some persons advantages that do not benefit the worse off implies that the latter are not equally members of society. There is a question as to whether it is morally permissible for Halliburton's oil company to engage in business transactions with Cuba, when such transactions are prohibited by the United States government. A company is a number of individuals assembled or associated together. A business transaction is an activity or event that can be measured in terms of money and which affects the financial position or operations of the business. Money is an officially used legal tender. Transactions can be classified as exchange or non-exchange. Exchange transactions involve physical exchange, such as purchasing and selling. Non-exchange transactions are events that do not involve physical exchanges, but where change and monetary values are determinable. To prohibit means to forbid an action, activity, etc. by authority or law. A law is a system of rules that a particular country or community recognizes as regulating the actions of its members and may enforce by the imposition of penalties. Penalties are punishments imposed for a violation of a law or rule. The United States government conducts the policy, actions, and affairs of the United States. Halliburton is engaging in business transactions and providing oil, a useful source for everyone. To the Cubans, there is no harm that is being done either way during these transactions. Both are benefiting. Providing oil for Cuba in exchange for money is not putting either of the parties at a disadvantage. The U.S. government is suppressing Halliburton's liberty and opportunity to earn more money by prohibiting their business transactions with Cuba. Therefore, it is morally permissible for Halliburton's oil company to engage in business transactions with Cuba, even when such transactions are prohibited by the United States government.